Hello guys, I just come out of the shop. Got some hot chocolate from my friend and sachets because she was looking for them. And what did I get for myself? I went into the shop and I was asking them for hang on. I was asking for bloody bastard always goes up. This light, this mirror. Okay. Hang on. I can't see where. The back of this car is horrible. It's the back windscreen, or whatever it's bloody called, the window, is so small. It's like you're looking out of, those aeroplane small windows, or in a ship or something, a submarine. Hang on, I have to put this on, this demister, otherwise I can't see anything. Yeah, so I went into the shop, into the charity shop, looking for some material to put on the table, and the best material maybe would be something dark, something velvet, like kind of red or burgundy or black. Couldn't find any material, so then I explained to them what I want to do. I want to do like some video. I said some video for children, photographs, and playing with toys. And I said, even if it's like a large dress, and I could like cut it, And so she found one, a burgundy one. It was an extra large one. Even though it's $4.50, it's a bit, but it's all right. So I can put that on the table. I can spread it out on the table, and then show the toys, and play with them. You guys will understand when you see the video, okay? Probably thinking, what the hell is he on about? Well, I have to do something different because my views are going down, my subs are going down. 7,073. It was almost 8,000 at one point. So I have to do something different to shock and generate growth in my channel. Something a bit weird, something different. Weird and different. It's not always good, but I have to try something. And this mug doesn't get views, so I'm gonna have to try a different approach. Hopefully this approach will work, but also for other reasons I have to stop showing this mug, because you get many people, the more successful you are, the more, even though it doesn't seem as though I'm successful, I'm not, because I don't have many subscribers, I don't get many views, but they all accumulate. So all these videos that you have online, they're like real estate. You have lots of little like garages or flats, apartments, or it can be like that. So I went in there, as I said, I went in there looking for this material, and she found this dress for me, this black velvet, no, it was a burgundy velvet dress. And then I saw a black velvet one. She said, this is a bit smaller, this is size 16. I said, don't worry, I'll be cutting them up anyway, I can try that one. And she kind of, at that point, she hesitated, because she must have thought they were for me. And I was making up this bullshit about doing videos, She said, yeah, but this is a size 16. The other one is XXL. And I thought, yeah, so what? I'm cutting them up and putting them on the table, right? So I know what she was thinking. So when I went to pay it, I said, you're not thinking they're for me, right? That they're not for me. You know, I'm not going to bloody come in one day with these things on. So anyway, we all had a laugh. And another lady who, the cashier, she, I paid her the money. And I left. And I put them in the car. And then I couldn't find my hat. I dropped my hat outside. But I went inside to look for my hat. And I said, have you seen my hat? She said, yeah, you had it here on the table. And there's a different lot of people that were in there, other women. And I was leaving. I said, I must have dropped it outside. She goes, I hope the dresses, she says before I left, I hope you like the dresses or something like that. And I was saying, shut up, be quiet. Then I found my hat. They probably thought that I'm going to wear those bloody dresses. I might actually give them a try. No way. I'm going to cut them and put them on the table and see how they look. Ask my friend to cut them. Or I can cut them. Yeah, there was another lady saying that I'm to do with the... What is it? She said something like... Because she saw my picture, my avatar, or my... How do you call it? The logo of my channel. My profile picture, yeah. And it's got me looking up like that, and I've got my hands like this, and it looks like I've got free hands like this, right? So she immediately puts 2 and 2 together and gets 100. She was saying like that's a Mason's sign or something like that, and she was going on about it. I didn't reply, so because I didn't reply after a day or two, she said, "You haven't replied. Silent, aren't you?" or something like that. She goes, "Yous are disgusting, like how you're destroying the world," or something like that. And I thought, lady, what are you on about? Yeah, fine Mason I am. I can't even pay my bloody electricity bill. Yeah, I'm a Mason. So I think I'll have to do a video about Freemasonry and those signs, and because Lady Gaga has one. I think these guys, they just like they do it on purpose to like increase the mystery of their brand, So like they've got 3 fingers like that, and looking up. The reason I had 3 fingers like that is to to hide my jowls. I've got these little plastic bags here. Don't worry, I'm going to do exercises and show you guys how to get rid of them. There are ways. Yeah, so I had my hand like that, and obviously it must be to do with Freemasonry, right? Nothing to do with trying to hide like my facial structure. No, it has to be something more sinister. Fucking hell. So I think I'll answer that lady in a video. I'll make a nice video. Needless to say, she hasn't replied. You get all sorts of people replying this comment, that comment. The last one was complaining that I was snorting and hacking the shit out of my throat. I never hacked the shit out of my throat. He's probably never seen anybody really hack. As I said, living in China in the mornings, you know what hacking is, and I've never done anything like that. I mean, maybe when you're throwing up or when you're really, really ill, you've got those really, like, I won't say it, but yeah, that's when you hack. People like taking the piss. As I said, people like taking the piss because it's the internet is anonymous and they can say what they want. Yeah, they can say what they want, but they get banned and then wonder why they've been cancelled and start going on about cancel culture and stuff like that. There is a cancel culture, or there was a cancel culture in the past. But as I said in the other video, if you abuse anyone on the street, there could be conflict, there could be trouble, but online there isn't. Because there's so much going on. People really don't care. You can say what you want and don't care. You know, also, people can say, "Oh, I'm your best friend. I'm this and that." You can't trust anyone that they're your friend. They're not. They're not your friend. They're your friend up until you say something that goes against their belief system or that really triggers them. And then suddenly you're not their friend. You're a demon. And with me, it's a problem because I will trigger everyone off. Because, you know, I'm a kind of, you know, when they talk about racism, I'm a equal opportunities racist. I don't like everyone. I don't like everyone. So the videos I'm going to make, like, I don't know whether it's because I want to, like, piss or not piss. I don't want to piss people off. I want to test people. Test that ego. You know, I've got an ego just like everyone else. And it needs to be tested. I'll be talking about, because the people that are really difficult to trigger are Christians, you know. So I'll be triggering Christians. You know, my lot, my relatives will be, I can guarantee, Jenna, you can't say that now. Now you're going too far now. Imagine the mother, father, what did they think about this? I'm not going to say anything bad about Jesus. Definitely not about Jesus. Maybe the guy upstairs, but not about Jesus. And that's it. You know, we've always been told that the Bible or life and reality is one way. It's a set way, but maybe it isn't. You know, some people say Jesus didn't exist. I don't know about that. I'll have to dig deep and then do some research. But I think there is a historical Jesus, right? He did exist. So, I don't know. Sometimes you have these channels on YouTube that are against Christianity, and you can see that they're anti-Christian. I am not anti-Christian. I am anti-lies, and I am pro-truth, what I think the truth is. Or at least I ask questions, you know. If you get some Muslim guy or atheist that talks bad about Christianity, okay, but then I'll just question them. I'll question them and I'll say, okay, what about your religion? What about your atheism? Whatever. You know, everyone should be questioned. So if it's okay for them to question Christianity, which it is okay, it's okay to question them as well. You know, where not necessarily their religion, but where are they coming from? All of the religions, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, came roughly from the same root or in the same time period, and they were traditions, religions, and certain cultures that came before all of our three main religions. So that the stories resemble those religions. Definitely in Christianity. I'm not sure about Islam or Judaism and Christianity. Yes, Islam I'm not sure, but they're all like interrelated, aren't they? They're all kind of connected, aren't they? You know, in Islam you have Jesus and Maryam. They're supposed to be really important prophets and important people, and so it's all kind of like related. So to say, if you say that there was something that came before the three main religions, you know, you immediately are going to piss off Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, you know. But what if you want to tell the truth? What if you want to go there and say, let's talk about it, you know, let's what did Jesus actually say? Why were books taken out of the Bible? What did they want to hide? So why in the Sumerian texts or the Epic of Gilgamesh you see the Noah flood myth or the Noah flood story, the flood myth or the flood story again and again and again? You see it in the past. So I'm just talking about Christians, but this is the same for maybe Islam, the same for Judaism. If these texts or scripts, these ancient texts, are inspired by God, and yet there are texts and religions that predate all three religions and say the same thing, it seems like there's some how do you say? Not copycat, but they're kind of like copies. It's the same kind of message being disseminated, being spread through the ages, and it's not unique to one religion. So in the case of, because I'm Christian, I talk about Christianity, right? For now, in the case of Christianity, when people say that, well, the Bible is God was the author. It was the creator inspired. It was inspired by God, what these men, wrote about. But if what they wrote about came before Christianity, before Judaism, then these people, so isn't this God inspired as well? If it's exactly the same bloody stories, were these not inspired by God as well? If they were inspired by God, then what's this collection of books then? They're questions that people don't want to ask, But I will ask them and I'll answer them. I'll dig down. I'll be digging, don't worry. I'll be digging and asking questions and giving you the answer. My answer, not the answer, because I don't know everything. I'm just a fallible human being. But I will ask the question, Is the God of our Bible the real God? Or is the God of our Bible an imposter? How dare you say that? There's a bloody reason why I'm not saying it. I'm just asking a question. Obviously there is a God, and the God that Jesus spoke about may not be the God that we know in the Bible. That's all I'm saying. Of course there is a loving God, a creator, of course. But what kind of God wants to punish you and destroy and tells the others to destroy other people and kill other people, and is jealous, and banishes people into to death or whatever? Some texts say that's not the real God, and is masquerading as the real God. So anyway, I'll talk about that. It doesn't mean I hate Christians. I love Christians. My family and relatives are all Christian. My mom and dad were Christian, Catholic. So, but, which makes it even more personal, because my mum, she used to pray. She used to go to church. My dad as well, not so much. He didn't give a he didn't give a shit. But my mum used to, and up until she passed away, she was praying and everything. And I'm thinking, what if she was praying to the wrong God, and we were lied to about Christianity? We were lied to, not just in the Catholic Church, and the whole of the, all those people that lived and died. They prayed, they and died, and then they were praying to the deceiver, a deceiver, not our real God. Some of you might be saying, what the hell are you talking about? How can you say that our God of the Bible is a deceiver? Well, I'm not saying he or she or it is. I'm saying what Jesus taught and what Paul taught, i.e. in the Bible and the church, are two different things. They're not exactly the same thing. The emphasis is on Jesus Christ and his sacrifice, and being saved via his sacrifice. Whereas I don't think Jesus taught that. Jesus taught that the kingdom of heaven is within, and salvation is inside you. God is inside you. So that spark of God that is within everyone, this fake God doesn't want you to know. It wants you to look outside of yourself. That's where God is. That's where salvation is. And yet, salvation is in here, is inside us. This is what Jesus tried to teach. I don't know. It's all very complicated. Once I write it all down, I'm going to have it, in concise form, and ye shall read my thoughts and my nuttiness. Okay. Yeah. No, I had a funny thought, but I can't say it. All right. Speak to you guys in another video. Bye.